Well, shaking folks, back with another reaction, back with some more Cyndi Lauper, and we're going back to her 1993 album Hatful of Stars. And the next tune is Dear John. It's intriguing. It feels, John is used in a lot of different contexts as a placeholder name for a unidentified male. So in that respect, it feels like it could be, in a very general sense. I feel, though, it's more likely to be specific, and if that's the case, John could be a character for the song, maybe based on someone, whether, with a similar name or a different name. Either way, I do wonder whether we're talking about an actual letter or whether it's just addressing someone formally. So I feel like there are many possibilities, but not having any context that would make or give me an indication of where this is going. Let's just find out. This is Cyndi Lauper, Dear John, from the 1993 album Hatful of Stars. Like the band.
Can't you just be anything you want? Why not? Why not? I tried to tell you that you didn't understand. They try and pigeonhole you, but it ain't only they know you. My dear, dear John,
I like the guitar playing.
just like everyone. So what? So what? Yeah.
I like that, yeah. I heard some keyboard elements.
And there's to live for. Then some abbreviated encore. Much more.
Abbreviated
Much
encore.
more. You can't define yourself in terms of someone else. You can't say what you're thinking, but I don't know what you've been drinking. But don't cry, 'cause love goes on. Dear John, you could be anything you want. Why not? Why not? Why you could even be an astronaut. Dear John, dear John.
Fascinating both sonically and lyrically. Sonically, again, it had this country feel, this sort of, frontier town type of atmosphere, but the Sonics had a bit of rock and roll too. Also, there were some keyboards and electronic sounds which gave it that, I don't know, synth rock feel, but again with maybe a country flavor. Her vocals felt a bit different than usual. They had a bit more like drama and it like At first, I was gonna say almost like a horror drama delivery. It wasn't quite like that, but she was like really like dragging and extending her delivery. So I really enjoyed the charisma of her delivery. So in both the vocals and the sonics, it feels a bit different than a lot of what we've gone through on this album so far, which has had a, kind of R&B '90s electronic feel, at least in a few of the tunes. So this is cool for having a bit different flavor. I enjoy albums that have some different alleyways. But yeah, lyrically, it's interesting. I was like, at first, I was wondering whether she was referring to someone, very specific. It sounds like, I don't know, a close friend, almost like, a son or something. So I feel like time-wise, that wouldn't make sense for her. Obviously, it could just be like a story. It wouldn't have to relate to her. But I feel like maybe it's a former like boyfriend or like a close friend. But I enjoy the line where she was saying like you can't define yourself like through comparison to someone else or something like that. Because it's a logical point that you can't characterize the independent merit of one thing strictly by comparing it to other things. So I like the idea that to find yourself, you can't look for templates or examples. You have to figure out what your own template is. So I found that to be really profound and engaging, even if the larger narrative, I'm not sure who John is and why or what the nature of their association is. But she, like you could be an astronaut, you could be this. It sounds like, she's saying there's all these possibilities, but it doesn't matter, perhaps what she's saying, doesn't matter what other people tell you should do. Like you really got to figure it out for yourself. So in that way, Dear Abby, the like advice column, I think that, famously for multiple decades was a well-known advice column. So maybe that's the kind of idea that, someone would be writing in, but again, like if it's addressed to him, I feel like that's less likely. So curious to hear what people have to say about the themes on this one. But yeah, and sonically, an anomalous tune as it compares to the rest of this album. Fair to say, maybe even overall, like lots of that synth pop, dancey sort of groove on her earlier stuff. So yeah, this one feels like it's her sort of charting out some new territory, or at the very least something that is not nearly as established as some of her other flavors. So curious to hear what people have to say about this one sonically and lyrically. Let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.